Hey, AOK product reviews. I got Lil the shop cat here today. She wants to do the review with us. I don't know if you can see her, if I have it panned out enough, but she's right here. And this is my baby. She's my shop cat. And she has a little condo over there. And it's like a box and it's got a window on it. And she's got a heating pad that I keep it. About level 3 is her favorite. So she's always got a warm place to sleep, her food and water. And then she's got a dog door that goes out the back and she goes hunting. And she keeps all the critters out of the shop. But then she'll bring me some surprises that are really gruesome. Like I'll get rabbits, you name it. She's good at her job. She is a serial killer. Yeah. Okay, it's Saturday. I already drank my coffee, so now I'm drinking a little apple juice. I want to do my last 3 knives. I'm doing them in 3s. I think 3s is good enough. But my last 3 knives, I did above super budget, in between budget and super budget. Yeah, I've got this weird bar graph going on here that you probably are not staying with, but the knives were QSP, I think Ontario, and I don't know. Next level up, if you ask me. Like I said, these are hit or miss, but this is pretty close in my head, is going to be, in order, the Kubey Momentum Kubey brand. Yeah. The Kubey Momentum is what really made me start to like Kubey a ton. Lilith likes Kubey too. G10, bearings, good steel, deep pocket, great action, thumb studs, and the front flip. So, I mean, geez, right there it almost cut me. Because it wants to just... Such a great knife. And I want to put it above these, but these next 2 are just great as well. And I'm going to go ahead and put CJRB next. CJRB and their, I think, parent company, Artisan Cutlery. Great knives, guys. Great knives. Artisan Cutlery should be on the next one, on the next level after these. This is the CJRB Crkt, and I love this knife. Heck, I had a buddy who wasn't familiar with CJRB, and he handled this one, and he was like, man, I love that knife. I love that knife. So I bought him the same exact knife. Gave it to him as a gift. Good buddy of mine. Yeah, so it's my only cleaver style, really, that I mean, I think I got a couple cheap cleavers in the other room, but this is my only proud cleaver style that I'll probably ever own. I mean, I may buy a what is a sheepdog or whatever. I don't know. They got a couple. So let's move on. One more. Petrified fish. Okay, petrified fish is a brand new brand to me, in the sense that I bought my first petrified fish probably late last year, November, December, and was blown away ever since. My first petrified fish was this 719, and this thing, it's crazy. It wants to just fly up and it wants to cut you. It wants to close. It's crazy. And it's sharp and it's slicey. And it's got the thumb stud on one side that you can reverse over. Wood handle. I mean, I need to probably tighten the pivot. But I love how it just, I mean, it doesn't have a lockup at all at the bottom. The detent is so weak, I can just do that. I always talk about that because I love it. So that I leave it that way, because I could tighten the pivot and maybe the frame screws a little bit and eliminate that. Excuse me. But I'm not gonna. So that was my first one. And then I got the Scholar, and then I got the Flavorist. And that's when I was like, yeah, you know, this is a real good knife. Very, very solid. The front flip is really simple. It's got this cool little design on the flip, jibbing all the way around, jimping, whatever you want to call it. So you just do that. Yeah. Liner lock. I swapped out the clip. So it had an angled clip that fit the bottom of this, and it was black, and it was a steel clip, and I swapped it out for a Damascus clip, which I think is a good fit on this knife with the black and this like purple Damascus. I geeked out a little bit on this one. I like it though. I bought 2 Damascus, I think, Civivi clips, and I put one on my 2 favorite knives, and the other knife went on a Kizer Assassin. That'll be in the next one after the next, probably. So, you got kubey. And on this list, the interesting thing about this list, 2 of these knives, I reached out to the manufacturers. I reached out to kubey, and I reached out to a bunch. You got to do that, guys. If you got a knife review channel, you have to put yourself out there, and you have to like go to the manufacturers, go to knife stores, whatever, and say, hey, you know, I'm buying as many of these knives as I can possibly afford so I can do reviews. You think maybe you throw me a knife, and they do. They will. Kubey's going to send me a knife. And I'm going to do a special on that knife. I'm going to do, I think it's the Kubey KU316, RDF KU316 that I'm going to be getting. And I'm stoked because I got the Kubey Leaf for my buddy Billy, and he really liked it, and I liked it. But the Kubey 316 is a button lock. So I'm really excited, and I'm going to try to do a cool little commercial for it kind of thing to give to Kubey, and then I'll post that, and then I'm going to do a reveal, and then unboxing reveal, and then I'm going to do the best version of my review possible, and that's me just digging a little deeper than the reveal. I'm not going to be cutting strings on tension sensors. I'm not going to, you know, do the rope cuts and the cardboard cuts. The other guys can do that stuff. I got better things to do with my time. I can tell, you know, if you can trust a brand, and we're getting up into the brands where you can trust. If they say they've got this type of steel and they've already proven themselves in their heat treats, so I got to trust that. And if I come across a bad blade, oh well, life sucks. But yeah, so I'm going to do a nice review and talk about it, and maybe let it conjure up a story so I can make it special. And hopefully Kubey really appreciates it, and it helps their sales, and then I can get more knives from them and not have to pay for them, at least at a premium. And then maybe even get a link that I can drop in for you guys to buy at a discount through my shop, through my channel. It's time to start doing that, I think, don't you? You know, you gotta find ways to make yourself more appealing. Maybe that's the way. Now, backed right off of that story, I reached out to Petrified Fish. Did the same thing. Both of these brands are relatively new to me. As of last year, I wasn't dancing in this budget world like this, to where I was like, whoa, there's something here more than just a cheap knife or an affordable knife. I don't want to call them cheap, because, you know, that's another thing is, you know, some of these knife guys, well, that's me back there, but some of these knife guys, like I just heard one guy who I dog him a little bit, but I like him, and that's that guy. He's, you know, shoot, they design their own knife. The guy's kind of funny and whatever, and he knows his crap. You know, he's probably forgotten more about these folding knives in this newer generation than I'll ever know, maybe. But he was saying something along the lines that $100 knife was like what he considered a budget knife. And I thought to myself, man, Are we that far out of tune with the working class? You know, are we, meaning he, but people, are we that far out of tune that we think $100 pocket knife is a budget, is a cheap knife? God, you know, it must be nice to be in your 20s or your 30s and think $100 is nothing to sniff at for a pocket knife. I make a good living. I'm a custom lighting designer, woodworker, and I've been doing it for a while. And I still think $100 is more than I want to spend. If you look at, I challenge you, in any of my reviews and any of the knives I have behind me, except for this knife right here, which was a gift, Christmas gift, the Gerber, it's a huge thing. Made in USA, Gerber, it's like a Balisong machete. It's dirty too. Yeah, look at that, jeez. It's a Balisong machete, so yeah, and that's gonna be, this was 150 bucks. Everything else is definitely not even close to $100. Huh. I got some good stuff here. I'm telling you, man. And then he was like, oh, well, then I'll call a $50 knife a budget knife. Man, you know, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it there. I think anybody that's watching this channel is sitting on their couch right now, probably just got done working, what time is it? It's 9 o'clock. So you just got off your midnight shift probably a few hours ago, around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, who knows. You know, so you got off your midnight shift, you're drinking coffee, you said, hey, I'm gonna watch a little knife reviews. And then this guy comes up and says, yeah, I think a $100 knife is a budget knife. I think that's definitely a cheap knife. Yeah, $100. Come on, man. What is this world coming to? Yeah, I just made it real dramatic. What is this world coming to? No, seriously. What? When did this happen? I don't know. But, so I got petrified fish. Man, I was perplexed by that whole thing. I'm sorry. I got way off track. So the petrified fish, I reached out to them. They said, yeah, we'd love for you to review. We saw your channel and we think it's a good fit for our brand. We're going to send you a knife. Give it a review. What would you like? And I was like, and for some reason, I thought they had fixed blades. I don't think they do. They should. How well they do micarta and they do a good draw point, they should definitely have a bushcraft knife. I don't know why they don't. It's like, I think it's a perfect fit just with the petrified fish name. It feels like bushcraft. What are you doing? I'm camping with my petrified fish. How do you not make a fixed blade knife? I don't know. But I said, hey, anything from your fixed blade line would be great. I'm sure they just were like, oh, we got a winner here. Yeah, I didn't know. Petrified fish, I'm sorry. Mr. Petrified Fish, I apologize. I thought you guys had fixed blades. And maybe you do, and I just still can't find them. But I couldn't find them on the website after I said that to you guys, and I thought, wow, I must sound like a real dipshit. You know, yeah, I'll take anything from your fixed blade line. Sorry, but we don't have a fixed blade line. This guy, he's a knife reviewer. Yeah, I'm sure they did that. Maybe not, though. Who knows? Maybe they didn't know. I doubt that, but you know, you just never know. Yeah, so petrified fish and CGRB and kubey. Yeah, so I'm really stoked. I can't wait to get them. I'm hoping to get them this week coming up, and I can get everything done because I want to do it as professionally as I possibly can, because I'm dealing with 2 manufacturers now. So I want to make sure that I'm professional. I say the right stuff. I'm interesting. I'm a little bit funny here, whatever it may be. And I pack it all in really tight. and I'm gonna knock it out of the park. And if I don't, at least they're gonna know I tried. You know, I tried to knock it out of the park, but I didn't. They were not impressed. Is probably what's gonna happen. Yeah, this knife is great. So I'm dragging this on too long. I'm gonna take off. These are my favorite 3 knife brands that fall in the $50 range. Around. A little above 40 on the CJRB Crkt, right around 50 to 60 on the petrified fish, and right around 45 to 55 on the kubey. I'll put the prices like right there. You'll see it first. Deuces.